Let's now get talking about this issue of food security in Nigeria. Despite the declaration of a state of emergency on food security and the unveiling of immediate short and long-term plans for agriculture in July, food prices are still rising at a faster pace in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu says the government will deploy savings from petrol subsidy removal into the country's food system to ramp up food production and halt surging food prices. 3 months later, however, prices are still surging and showing no signs of slowing, with food inflation hitting 30.64% in September. Now let's break all of this down to better understand the crux of the issue. Dr. Idris Olabode Badiru, agricultural expert, joins us via the phone to analyze this issue. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Well, let's begin with the state of emergency that was declared by President Bola Tinubu in July. And of course, that was on food security. Let's look at how effective this has been in tackling the menace of food insecurity in Nigeria.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being with you again. The plan of the government to have declare an emergency in the food security sector is a welcome development. We all are aware of what we are facing. The prices of things in the market, they have soared and they keep soaring. So what they have done is what is expected of any reasonable government to do. Now, whether what they have done, whether it's working or it's achieving its result, is another kind of discussion. But they have at least tried something by trying to arrest the situation. And I think it's something that we should all applaud.
You know, some people will tell you that the food prices were already, on the high or on the high side before the subsidy removal, and that the subsidy removal worsened the situation. So anyone would expect that to curb the rising, the spike in the prices of food, that the first thing this administration would have done or should have done would have been to maybe revisit the issue of subsidy removal.
Well, one thing I always don't like commenting on is anything that do not have the full full data on as a researcher. We don't like commenting on it, because the truth about it is that the government, whether we like it or not, they have more information at their disposal, and at times they always want to do a particular thing. They don't want to waste a crisis. Already we are in a crisis situation. Maybe they feel that the situation should not just be allowed to just go like that. And this is the opportunity for them to do what every government has been intending to do, and they've not been able to do at the long run. So there are so many people that have been arguing that they should have in sequencing the removal of the subsidy, that shouldn't have been the right time. But when is it going to be right? I think what we should be discussing about is how do we solve because the deed has been done already. What should be paramount to us is how do we solve that, how do we arrest the skyrocketing prices of products in the market, so that people can be able to breathe, like the president once said. So I think that is more important, because the deed has been done. I followed the campaign, and I noticed that the top 3 contenders, they all promised to remove the subsidy. They all promised to float the naira. So it's as good as is making good his campaign promises. And I think that is what we voted for anyway. Because if Nigerians voted for him, it means they voted for subsidy removal, they voted for floating of the naira. So I think the main issue here is how do we arrest this problem that has because it has been removed and there's no going back. Even if we decide to go back, I think we are even going to lose more now because we are already lost. So the best thing is, what do we do now to arrest the situation so that the situation does not escalate beyond what it is?
Oh, well, although there's another conversation coming from the oil marketers saying that they do not believe that subsidy has been removed, especially when you look at the landing cost of petrol and all of that. But let's not delve into all that because that's another kettle of fish entirely. But the president said the government will deploy savings from these subsidy removal into the country's food system to ramp up food production and halt surging food prices. Is this the way to go?
Please come again.
The president had said that he would use the money that was removed from subsidy to, plunge it into the country's food system to ramp up food production and halt the surging food prices. Do you see this as the way to go?
That's a very good decision going forward. Though I'm here to see if it is done, I'm here to see the impact. I'm here to see the effectiveness of the impact. Now, anywhere you go in the world, especially in the developed countries that we always want to aspire to be, there is usually something that the government is subsidizing. So it's bother that if anybody is telling us that you have to remove subsidy on everything. The only thing is that you know what you want to subsidize. You subsidize production, you don't subsidize consumption. So I think it's a step in the right direction. If the government decides to pump what they are gaining from the oil subsidy removal, if they are counting it towards production, especially agricultural production, because that is what is going to touch the lives of everybody. Everybody eats. Whether you like it or not, you eat. You make use of products of agriculture one way or the other. So it's a good step in the right direction.
But as the saying goes, action speaks louder than words. It looks like we've been seeing a lot of words since this administration. Do you see or do you expect, are you optimistic of any actions following all of these statements?
Well, I am optimistic. In fact, I will be disappointed if this government does not fulfill its promises and deliver on its promises of turning the fortunes of this country around. Because, we believe that he has all it takes. He has the experience. He has a lot of capable and competent people around him to serve as his advisor. So it will be surprising if he does not deliver on this. So I'm highly optimistic. Though when I look at the trend of things, times I can't for now I can't pinpoint his methodology and say that, okay, this is what they are really trying to do. There are promises here and there, but in terms of what I'm seeing on ground, I'm not convinced about the methodology. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do.
But I'm optimistic that he should know what he's doing. That kind of faith. Is it a blind faith? I don't know what I want to call it. I think it's a kind of blind faith. I believe he should know what he's doing. He has the right set of people around him who know, people who are well read, people who understand macroeconomic theories. They understand the macroeconomic theories. They understand virtually everything you want to call it. They've been all over the place. So I'll be surprised, and in fact I will be disappointed if he fails. I'm highly optimistic, but the methodology, the trend, for instance, let us look at it. My expectation is a government that would kind of be a bit protectionist in terms of the productive sector in Nigeria. A government that would try to insulate the food production system from the foreign exchange and some other, it will insulate them from anything that is happening all over the world. At least we promote the production of what we eat, what we use in this country, and we'll try to protect those who produce that particular thing from external influences.